Hi, we're Kristy and Steve, and we've been travelling the UK now for over a month. In today's video, we invite you to come along with us and enjoy some iconic and delicious British food, such as a traditional English fry-up for breakfast, fish and chips, cream tea, Sunday roast, and corned beef hash. We did continue later on to Scotland, where we got to experience haggis for the first time, but you'll have to wait for an upcoming video for that one. First up, we're starting with breakfast. Good morning and welcome to Birmingham. We've come down to a cafe here right in the heart of the city called Cherry Breads. They also have another one in Kings Heath. This is the original store, I believe. We're here for the English fry-up, or also known as the full English breakfast, which is an iconic dish in the British culinary culture, so I'm so excited to dig in. It is massive. We're actually going to be sharing this because this is far too big for one person to eat.
Generally, a full English breakfast consists of eggs, baked beans, hash brown, sausages, bacon. We've got some mushrooms tucked in there as well. We've got some tomatoes tucked in there. We've also ordered on the side some black sausage, or some blood pudding, I think it's called. So a little fun fact about the UK and baked beans, they eat more baked beans here than the entire world put together. That's a whole lot of beans. I can see why, they're pretty delicious. Alright, I think we should get stuck in. I'm going to start with, I think, the black pudding.
Do it.
Like I said earlier, the black pudding has another name, blood sausage, and it obviously gets its name from what's inside of it, blood, and that's where that colour comes from as well. I don't think I've eaten blood sausage before, and I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not going to add any sauce because I want to try and get the full flavour of it. A lot of people say it has a bit of a sort of gritty, whoops, dropping it everywhere, bit of gritty, irony sort of taste. Consistency a little bit like salami, so let's give it a go. That's really nice. It honestly doesn't have a huge flavour. It's more salty, bit of a texture, like a bready kind of texture. I think it has oatmeal and, did you say breadcrumbs or?
So yeah, they usually use a bread or an oatmeal as the filler.
So Kristy was saying they usually use a bread or oatmeal as a filler. It's really nice. We've also got a bit of HP sauce, which is also famous here in the UK. I don't think I've seen it anywhere else around the world. We don't have it in Australia. Well, we have it in Australia, we just don't use it. That's really good though. The blood sausage is a little bit off-putting, but I would definitely recommend it if you're getting a big breakfast or a traditional English fry-up.
All right, my turn. I am not going to lie, I really do not like the idea of blood sausage, but I have to give it a go. Whoa, it is a little, oh my God, it's blood. It's fine. Okay, it's fine. I want to know what those chunks are. There's like, I don't know, I'm not going to ask any questions.
It's one of those foods that you don't want to think too much about. You just want to try it, jump in and eat it and just see what you feel. It's got a really nice flavour.
That's amazing. It's got the texture of like an oatmeal cookie, like a soft oatmeal cookie. And like Steve, a little bit like salami in texture, definitely not in taste. It's quite salty. It is a little bit bready. So I can't taste iron or metallic or anything like that. Wow. You would think it would be a little bit dry. Absolutely not. It is really, really nice. Wow, I'm a fan. Oh, hang on, I'm getting a little bit of that metallic at the back of my throat now. Really nice. I actually really like that. Now, I think I'm going to try and get as much on my fork as I possibly can. And another thing, it's not actually greasy. I was expecting it to be this big pile of like oily, greasy, fatty sort of food, but it doesn't come across like that at all.
So that was my impression too, that it would be a really heavy, greasy meal, because I've also heard it goes really well after a night out on the beers. Like it's a perfect hangover cure.
So it's typically eaten on a weekend, or as Steve said, when you're severely hungover.
I really want to taste these little sausages. I'm a big sausage guy.
Did you just say you're a big sausage guy?
Real big sausage guy. I think
that's debatable, Steve.
I've said it in so many videos. When you bite through it, you get an explosion of sausageness in your mouth. I think Kristy just mentioned how much I love sausage. The reindeer hot dog. It's the third time I've had sausage today. Everywhere we travel, I'm always looking for the local sausage. That sounds...
I'm going to try and get a little bit of everything. So I've got tomato, beans, the egg, bacon. I did have mushroom. I will get him back. All right, ready for this enormous bite? I can definitely see why this is so popular. It is, I mean, it's super popular in Australia too. You go to any cafe and this would usually be something on the menu. Yeah, I love it. I can see why it's popular, and I will definitely be eating more than one of these while we're here in the UK.
Another thing I really like about this breakfast is the bacon. This bacon here reminds me of the bacon we have in Australia. It's quite thick and, I don't know, fatty. I don't know if that's the right word. In America, it's really thin and really crispy, and I don't really like American bacon.
I prefer American bacon.
We'll see, Kristy just said she loves the American bacon. I think the worst part about this breakfast, we only ordered one. We should have got two.
I definitely agree with that. That breakfast was amazing.
It was really good.
Yeah, I think another reason why it's so popular is because it's been enjoyed for centuries, for such a long time, by people from all walks of life. And you can buy it anywhere. You can find it all around the UK.
I also feel that you could eat it at any time of the day.
Yes.
Breakfast, lunch or dinner. I could
Yep.
probably even see myself having a beer over lunch or dinner
Yep.
and enjoying that.
Pairs perfectly with anything. We had all intentions of going down to the coastline today to eat fish and chips by the seaside, but unfortunately the weather had different ideas and it is pouring down outside, so we're parked in some random little street a few blocks back from the coast, and we have fish and chips.
So if you hear cars going by, that's literally because there's cars going by as we're
Yeah.
sitting in the car.
It's real life. Things happen. You can't control the weather, so we still got our fish and chips,
Yep.
and I'm sure they're going to taste amazing.
So the little coastal town that we're at is called Clevedon, and it has a beautiful little foreshore here with old buildings lining the water and a pretty impressive pier that stretches out into the sea, but we're here for one reason.
The fish and chips! I've already gotten into them. I'm so not even hungry because I've already eaten half of these fish and chips. They are so good. They actually salt them, quite a lot actually, and pour vinegar over it. They're so good. These are so much thicker than what we usually get back at home, and it looks so good. The fish is the batter looks to be a lot like darker and thicker. It is all gluten-free, so I don't know if that makes a difference on how it appears, but the chips are amazing. I'm hoping that the fish tastes just as good.
We ordered one large piece of fish. I'm not sure
cod.
what fish. Yeah, cod, sorry.
Cod.
Chips, mashy peas, and a
Pickled egg.
pickled egg.
I've pretty much tried everything before, apart from the pickled egg and these mushy peas. We were told by Jamie and Hannah, we'll put their link up here, their Instagram, they also do YouTube, that we have to, they're from here, they're from Liverpool. So these are the mushy peas. I'm gonna give it a try. Oh my God, I'm a huge fan of peas. A lot of people aren't, I do know that, but luckily we both are. So they're super mushy.
So I thought it would be just a puree, but it's a lot of solid peas in there as well, with obviously a puree.
Yeah, it's like, all right, let's give it a try. Oh, it tastes like something I've had before. Oh, I love this. Oh my God.
Is it hot?
I could drink that. Yeah, it's actually really hot. Because we've actually been sitting here for quite a while, trying to get the light and trying to find somewhere to park, the chips are so soggy, so soggy, but the peas have surprisingly remained really hot and fresh. So I really like the peas. They're so good. They have a really familiar taste, and no, it's not peas, it tastes like something else that I've had. Okay, moving on to, I might try the egg. Pickled egg. I think it's actually just like a normal egg, hard-boiled egg that was pickled in vinegar. You could also get pickled onions.
It's exactly that. It's just a boiled egg.
Hopefully it's absorbed the vinegar flavour. Yeah. Oh, I like the use of vinegar here in the UK.
We've eaten so many boiled eggs in the past week. Living out of our little basement Airbnb in London, the thought of eating a hard-boiled egg kind of makes me dry reach a little bit, but let's give it a go.
It's so good, don't you reckon?
It is really good.
Yum. I think I prefer the pickled boiled eggs to a normal boiled egg.
It's got that like vinegar punch.
Yeah.
That pickled punch, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Let's give this fish a go though.
Oh, yeah. All right. Oh, my goodness. This is so freaking heavy. When I was walking back, holding it. Oh, look at that. Yum. That batter actually is quite thin.
Fish and chip batter in Australia is really, what's the word?
Chunky.
Chunky and like...
And floury. It's always got like this coat. So you've always got the crispy. This is a million times crispier than
This is
anyone
really
I've had.
smooth.
Yeah.
Like ours is really bubbly and rough looking.
I'm gonna give it a try.
Sounds super crunchy. Can't eat that. Oh my god.
He's not even exaggerating with that reaction
Wow.
either. Oh my god, that is so salty. So for all you ASMR fans out there, like myself, listen to this. We got a few like tartare sauce and ketchup, but I don't think we need it.
No. I think Kristy said earlier,
My god.
It's been salted with obviously salt and vinegar.
This is the best piece of fish ever. And because we're right on the seaside,
Sort
I
of.
think that it was 2 blocks back from the seaside. I think that it's all locally sourced, obviously from around this area. So I'm hoping this fish was caught
Yep.
today, but it's so good.
We were told to not go to like a pub or a restaurant to get fish and chips, to just go to one of the, I think they're called chippies.
Yes, Megan Morgs on Instagram told us specifically, do not go to a restaurant or a cafe, go to a chippery
Yep.
or a chippy, like a fish and chip shop, and get them.
And definitely do it down by the coast because
Yep.
the fish is fresh and sourced locally.
So we listened, we took your advice, and it was possibly the best advice we've ever been given on our travels, because this is 10 out of 10 amazing.
I want to try a chip dipped in the mashy peas. That's good. We're going to finish this off and we'll see you at the next place.
So we've come down to Davenford Cotswold Gardens, and we've got a traditional English tea with milk. We've got a plain scone with jam and cream. We had to get a brownie as well because it looks so good.
So we're going to start with the scone first. After all, that's why we're here. And there's a bit of controversy between, do you put jam on first or do you put the cream on first? I'm a jam on first because you can spread it and then layer on the cream. Even though the cream's actually super thick.
I think it's clotted cream,
Yeah.
so they make it really, really thick.
It's nearly like butter. And we've got a couple sticky strawberries here, so why not?
Oh, that looks really good.
Why not add that to the top? All right, let's give this a bite. The scone feels actually quite fluffy. We have had them before and they're really dense. Well, let's see if I can get a mouthful with the strawberry. Creamy on my moustache. This one's a little bit dry,
Is it?
but there's only one way to fix that.
More cream.
More cream.
And what a beautiful setting we're sitting in right now. We're the only ones here. I think because it is a bit later in the afternoon and we did have a little bit of rain before, so everyone sort of went inside and we're reaping the benefits. Sun's out, you got your your scone and jam.
Why can't we say scones?
Scone and
I
jam.
called it a Don before.
I called it a John. You got your scone and jam, so I think we're pretty happy.
This is great. I love this. Goes great with my tea and the hot, is it English breakfast tea?
English breakfast, yeah. Yep.
How about you taste your brownie?
Oh my goodness, it looks so, God, it's so rich. Look at that. Oh wow, that just disintegrates in your mouth. I don't really have any words to, it's just friggin' delicious. You're gonna love it too. How good is it?
It just tastes like cake dough
It does.
or like raw
Yeah,
cookie dough
Oh my
in a
God.
really good way.
Alright, so it is time for dinner. We're actually in Manchester. We're staying in a suburb about 20 minutes out called Salford Quays, but we've come back into the city of Manchester to go to a old traditional pub. It's over 200 years old, I believe, and we are yet to have a
Sunday roast.
We've been to England so many times in the past, and for some reason we've just never had a Sunday roast. We have back in Australia. My mum makes the best Sunday roast in the entire world, so we'll see how it compares to a traditional English one. So the reason that I chose this specific restaurant is because I found it had a really interesting history. So back in the 1860s, Manchester was at the forefront of the Industrial Revolution, and a lot of people from all around the country moved to Manchester. So two brothers, Thomas and Sam, were originally from London. Thomas was a chef. They both moved to Manchester, and Sam had the idea to open up a chop house. So they did open up one, they established one back in the 1800s, but shortly after they had a big falling out. Sam ended up going his way, Thomas ended up going his way, and they both established their own separate chop houses, and both are running still today. We chose Sam's. I don't even think we looked at Thomas's actually, but I don't know. We're here for a few days, so we might check that one out also. But yeah, I thought it was interesting history, and that's why we're here.
So I thought we couldn't do a traditional English roast without a traditional English cast ale. So I've actually heard two things about English beer in the past. One, it's warm, and two, it's flat. And the reason for this is the beer is actually stored in its cask in the basement of the pubs, and the pub's basement is about 10 to 14 degrees, so it's stored at room temperature. Unlike the beer that we're used to in Australia, where it's refrigerated and it's served anywhere from 1 to 3 degrees, so a lot different when it comes to temperature. And the reason why it's not as carbonated as the beer we're used to in Australia is because of the way it's poured. It's actually poured through a hand pump, and the pump itself has a device in it called a sparkler, and it aerates the beer, which is said to give the beer a softer, more smoother flavour and a much better head. I don't actually mind the lack of bubbles in the temperature. This is a pale ale, I'm pretty sure. It's beer, so it's delicious.
So my question is, Steve, what do you prefer, the Aussie cold carbonated beer or the flat English beer as you describe it?
Because we're in England, I would go the English beer because it's just the thing to do.
And it makes sense.
It does make sense.
The food has arrived. It looks amazing. This is so much better than what I was expecting. So Steve went for the roast. I actually got an Irish dish. It's called a corned beef hash. I'm going to give it a try first. I just keep eyeing off Steve's roast though.
The roast looks absolutely amazing. The beef is so pink, and the Yorkshire pudding, we've never actually had a Yorkshire pudding before. The only time was at the market, Camden Market, where we had the Yorkshire burrito. I'm excited to eat this Yorkshire pudding.
All right, corned beef and potatoes. That is amazing. Honestly, it's so salty. It's kind of mushy, the consistency of it. I love that. It's got a really rich, meaty corned beef, salty flavour, as corned beef does. I'm going to try and get a piece of everything. This is a lot different to the bacon that we had with breakfast. This is a lot crispier. I'm going to try and get the meat, the potato, and the bacon all in at once. That's a big mouthful. I'm so happy I ordered that. We were contemplating ordering 2 roasts, so I was going to get the chicken, Steve was going to get the roast, and I thought, no, we'll go for something a little bit different. And when I did a little bit of research, and it turns out this was from Ireland, I thought, why not give it a go? I'm so happy with my decision.
Right, so it's my turn. I'm pretty excited for this. I think I've said excited like 5 or 6 times already.
It's our most used word when we describe food, I think.
Other than delicious and starving.
Yep.
That meat is so pink. I'm not even going to try it with any gravy or veggies to start off with. I'm going to try it as is. So the meat itself is super tender and juicy, and then it's got a little bit of fat just on the edge that gives it a nice bit of chew. I'm going to give it a go with the gravy and some greens. I don't know what we're going to do with the Yorkshire pudding. Like, do you fill it up with things and eat it like as a pie, or do you just cut pieces off and eat it like bite by bite? Oop, I just lost it. Let's try it with the gravy. Should we try the Yorkshire pudding?
Yes. Oh my God, that's why we're here, to try the infamous Yorkshire pudding.
So it kind of looks like there's cheese inside. I could be completely wrong. And any locals that are watching this will be like, Steve, you're an idiot. There's no cheese inside. But I'm gonna bust it open.
The ingredients for Yorkshire pudding is milk, eggs, and flour. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I read somewhere that those were the ingredients.
So I'm gonna try it by itself, just with a little bit of gravy.
That is a big bite.
Doesn't have a whole lot of taste, but added with the gravy and a bit of the greens.
I need to try the Yorkshire pudding.
All right, we're gonna swap. If I don't drop it.
This plate is massive. So I said earlier that the benchmark for a roast is my mum's. All right, I'm gonna try the Yorkshire pudding by itself. I don't know if that's what you do, but I'm doing it. Wow. It is really spongy. It's very crispy on the outside. It's not like a pie crust. It's not like a pastry. It's not like bread. It's something very unique. I love it.
If you're from England, can you whack down in the comments the way you should eat a Yorkshire pudding? I feel we're either doing it completely wrong or kind of the right way.
I feel we're doing it wrong.
So as I was eating the Yorkshire pudding, the texture sort of came to me kind of like a waffle. It has that sort of spongy, airy texture that just soaks in all the different flavours that you add to it. I think I'm definitely going to add the Yorkshire pudding to the at-home roast that we do when we're back home. They're so good.
We don't do it. My mum does it.
I think it's time for dessert.
Definitely time for dessert. So we're going to order the Eton Mess, but in this establishment, because it is a little bit fancy, it's called the Eton Meat. So I think it consists of, we've never tried it before, but according to the menu, it consists of a meringue, which isn't my favourite thing, but I like strawberries and cream, which is what it's accompanied with, so I'm sure I'll like it. And the, of course, traditional sticky day pudding, so I'm looking very forward to that.
I don't think we need 2 desserts, but since we're out for dinner and we've had a couple beers, we're getting 2 desserts.
We are 100% getting 2 desserts, and we'll probably get a McFlurry from Macca's a bit later.
Or KFC. It's my birthday tomorrow.
Steve has this habit. We'll go out, we'll go to a really nice, fancy, restaurant, and then he'll always get either KFC or pizza on the way home and just go to town on that.
I think every guy's the same. After a couple beers, they're a little bit unstoppable. And I love KFC.
Let us know in the comments, is this normal or is it just Steve?
So after taking a look at the dessert menu, the Eat and Eat wasn't available on the menu that night. So we ended up going with the sticky toffee pudding and a chocolate brownie instead. I have no idea what Kristy's doing here, but it looks like the brownie was a good choice.
So that roast was more than what we hoped for. It was so good. I don't know if it's because of the place we went to.
Everything we've eaten in England has been top notch, has been amazing food.
Mm-hmm.
We've loved everything here.
Mm-hmm.
We have one more stop on the way home.
Have a guess where. It starts with K, ends with C, and it has an F in it.
We'll see you in the next video.
Bye.